Right, Leagues 4 Trailblazer Reloaded is just 1 week away, and with all the reveals and the teasers that we have received from Jagex each day, I believe I have now constructed my game plan, my strategies in order to get the best ranging gear set up that will see me through to the content that I really want to do, which is necks and Tombs of a Mascot. All the while the end goal still being to get the max cape and also collect as many leagues points in order to achieve dragon tier. In this video I'm going to talk a little bit about my region unlocks, my ranging gear upgrades and how they will be affected via each region unlock. Also I'll talk about the already confirmed passive effects and relics. So in this league we have already been told that there are combat relics, and whichever one you choose is undoubtedly going to make that combat style your most powerful. Now, based on what endgame content I would like to do in this leagues, I have chosen to go down the ranging route, but one that doesn't completely neglect the other combat styles and also is pretty good for resource gathering and production. Okay, so we all start off in Misthalin and Karamja, and this is the potential gear for ranging that I will be able to get in these two regions. Since clue scrolls are confirmed to be stackable and only locked to whatever region you currently have open, I believe that that's a pretty good way to start my ranging gear setup by trying to get some God Bless D-hides or some black D-hide. And the rune crossbow is going to either come from dragons or the deranged archaeologist. Now, both Asgarnia and the desert are both very viable second unlocks, but I think I'm probably going to go Asgarnia just so that I can quickly get some void armor, and by that point I should also be able to get a Amulet of Fury and hopefully a D-hide shield. In Asgarnia I'll be working on getting the Dragon Defender and also getting up my other combat styles, eventually working on a bit of Slayer so that I can get some Dragon Boots as well. My second region unlock is going to be the desert, and this is what my upgraded gear is going to look like. Bit of a jump there. We are looking to get lucky with some Ranger Boots from Clue Scrolls, and we're going to upgrade via the God Wars dungeon our armor and crossbow, and also we've got the Ring of Shadows down there from unlocking the desert, but the ring slot is unfortunately going to be a bit of a bad one because we don't unlock any regions that give a good upgrade to the ring slot. So our third and final unlock is going to be Kandarin, and this is going to give us the Zenite jewelry upgrade. So hopefully we will get an Anguish, as well as by this point some Pegasian boots from Cerberus and the ranging cape, which you can only get in Kandarin. Now, once all the regions are unlocked and we've got those significant upgrades, we can now return to the endgame content, which is the God Wars dungeon, and more specifically necks and the Tombs of a Mascot. And this, ladies and gents, is what our final ranging gear setup is going to hopefully look like. We've now made some massive upgrades from necks with the Zerite crossbow and Vambraces, and from TOA we've upgraded and fortified our Missouri armor, as well as received hopefully a light bearer ring, which is going to prove very effective with that Zerite crossbow and the chosen combat relic, the Archer's Embrace. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment, but once I obtain this gear, and only once I obtain this gear, will I attempt my first ever Infernal Cape. I've never even thought about trying it before, but now this is the first time I'm doing leagues, and I thought there's no better time to attempt it, so that is one of the end goals. Alongside, of course, trying to get a max cape, my first ever max cape, and getting the dragon tier, that top 1%, almost probably the maximum amount of points that you can get from your chosen regions. Thank you guys for making it this far into the video. And if you have done so, please drop a like and subscribe if you are interested in following my league's journey. I will of course be frequently uploading videos onto YouTube regarding my progress. I'm sure I'm going to be having tons of fun, and so will you lot, and it'll be good to share in those good times. Right, so time to quickly share with you my thoughts on the reveals and teasers that we've got for the first week. Trickster. This is going to be a new tier 1 relic, and it's going to allow you to automatically re-pickpocket your targets. The loot from that pickpocketing is doubled and noted. Coin pouch limit is multiplied by 3. You'll be given the Sage's Greaves that will grant agility XP that scales with your agility level whilst running. So that is passive agility experience right there, just for running. That's amazing. And of course we get unlimited run in leagues. Box traps lure creatures faster, so a nice little buff if you are going to get yourselves some chimchompers. The loot from the box traps is doubled. Impling jars cannot break. That is a great quality of life update, that one. You can burn up to 9 logs simultaneously, so super quick fire making experience. And you cannot fail actions for Thieving, Agility, Hunter and Fire Making. So those 4 skills there, Thieving, Agility, Hunter and Fire Making, with the Trickster relic are basically easy. The drop rates will go from 2 times to 3 times to 4 times to 5 times depending on what tier you're in. That's why it's always worth it to think about your big rare drops coming towards the end of your league's journey when you are in the top tiers. Also, Slayer points will go from 1 times to 5 times, and superior rates go from 1 in 200 to 1 in 50. Okay, this is a big one. Mini game points go from 1 times to 3 times to 5 times to 8 times. So it is well worth planning out your mini games to have the harder ones towards the end so that you can get 5 or 8 times the amount of points per game. Lastly, clue scrolls are dropped as stackable boxes, and as I mentioned earlier in the video, the clue scroll steps will be restricted to what areas you are in, so you can complete clue scrolls very early in this league, and it is well worth attempting to do so. On the 4th of November, Jagex revealed that you will have to have a preferred combat style, as you will get major buffs depending on which relic you choose. I'm just going to go through the Archer's Embrace for you guys, because this is the one that I have chosen to focus on in my leagues. Basically, all range weapons will have their attack speeds halved or 2.5 times halved. 90% of ammunition is saved when using ranged weapons. That is big because it gives you the effect of an Arva's Assembler without even having to go into the Fremennik region and killing Vorkath. Also, an Arva's Accumulator can be stacked with this as well to create a 98% ammo saving bonus. The Crystal Bow, Chin Chompers and Toxic Blowpipe are all included with this effect. Right guys, Enchanted Bolts will have a 2 times boosted chance to proc. This is key in my game plan, okay? Because I want to get a Zarite crossbow and a Lightbearer ring. So can you imagine how many bolt special procs I'm going to get against big bosses? And this effect has a 10% chance of being absolutely devastating, because there is a 10% chance of your weapon firing an extra projectile. Meaning if that happens to one of the bolt specs, you are potentially doing a 200 damage if you are using Ruby Bolts Enchanted. Lastly, there is a 100% accuracy boost to the ranging style. The Undying Retribution relic, in my honest opinion, is completely overpowered, and I will definitely be choosing that one no matter what it's paired alongside. Upon death, you are instantly revived, and the target who killed you is instantly killed. That is crazy. Globetrotter Relic allows you access to every single teleport in the game via apparently a necklace of some sort, an amulet. It's good. It is good. Obviously, only regions that you have unlocked. But I don't think it's game breaking, especially considering the next passive effects, which is Last Recall. And this is making a return into this league, and I'm very excited about it because it allows you to go straight back to wherever you just teleported from. And that is much better than Globetrotter, if you ask me. It's probably going to have some limitations, but we are yet to figure out what they are. Still, nevertheless, I do believe this is an incredible passive effect. Not even an unlock. You get it at some point. It's brilliant. On the 7th of November, we also came to learn what the other Tier 1 relics will be, other than Trickster. And you have Endless Harvest, which will basically multiply your resources gathered from fishing, woodcutting and mining by 2, and all of those resources can be sent directly to your bank. So a boost for fishing, woodcutting and mining, making it very, very AFK. And the last Tier 1 relic is Production Prodigy. When doing the following activities, all items are processed at once: smelting ores, smithing bars, making cannonballs, fletching logs, stringing bows, cutting bolt tips, cleaning herbs, making potions which do not have a stackable secondary ingredient, cooking, making jugs of wine, crafting leather, jewelry, battle staves, pottery, uncut gems, glass blowing, spinning flax or wool. And the full XP is given for those items processed using the relic. Also, there's a 25% chance that you will make an extra product which will be sent to your bank if you have space. The additional product will also produce some XP. So that's a very useful one. I don't know if it's as good as the other two we've spoken about. But basically the production of all those items is going to be extremely quick now, but it already was fairly quick. The final reveal I will be talking about now is Banker's Note that got released yesterday, November 8th, and this one is truly game breaking. The possibilities are endless for this relic. I hope that it doesn't come up against Undying Retribution, if I'm being honest, because they are both incredible but for very different reasons. The Banker's Note is an item in your inventory that you can use to turn any other item in your inventory to or from a noted version of itself. So you essentially have unlimited inventory. You can take all your noted items and just, you know, when you're bossing or whatever, you can just say, yeah, I need a couple more prayer potions, I'll unnote them. It's amazing. It really does make the game very easy. So with all that explained, I am now going to round out the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. It's I know it's nice to see another person's game plan, you know, so I thought I'd put this up on YouTube and talk a little bit about the reveals and teasers as well. Hopefully this has convinced a few of you to take part in the leagues yourselves. We are being given a unique opportunity to play the game that we all love in a little bit of a different way and a lot easier. So put a pause on all of your main game tedious grinds and give this a go.